spokesperson. I see, Aviwe, you are there as well, and I'm sure you are getting ready as well to be accredited and be ready for the conference. What is Pule Mabe saying about the readiness of this policy conference?
Certainly, brother, and I'll be fetching my own accreditation just after we've been briefed by the spokesperson of the African National Congress, Pule Mabe, just on the state of readiness ahead of the 6th Policy Conference of the African National Congress. This is the main plenary where most of these discussions and feedback from the closed sessions will be happening. We're going to take a walk around, but Pule Mabe just joins me now to get a better understanding on the state of readiness. Thank you for joining us at ANC, Pule. But you were about to brief the media, in fact, but let's get that information from you on how ready we are for the 6th Policy Conference.
Well, as you can see, we are quite ready. This is going to be the main plenary hall. This is where the National Policy Conference will be taking place from, especially from Friday. Today, just behind us, there is a venue that has been designated for the gala dinner, which is expected to be addressed by the presidential gala dinner arranged by the Progressive Business Forum. Tomorrow, a larger contingent of our delegates would have arrived. We'll be finalizing to give them accreditation. We have arranged on the other side of the FNB Stadium a place where we are giving both our security, media, yourselves, your accreditation cards. So you can see, you have been outside, you have seen places that are designated for media. Quite interesting that we have got about well over 200 journalists. We've got over 2,000 delegates coming to this conference. It means the media constitute about 10% of the total number of those people that have been accredited to be in this conference. It does get to show that the story of the ANC is still one that excites both our own domestic press as well as foreign press. We've got international media outlets that have also been accredited, Al Jazeera, CNN, and many others that have been accredited. I'm just citing the two. In South Africa, we've got almost, if we talk, almost all mainstream media outlets will also be participating in this. They will be participating in all of the open session. We are expected to sit this afternoon to really finalize the program, to allow yourself space to be able to plan properly. If you, on the stage there, that's where we're going to be seeing officials and all members of the National Executive Committee. Certainly, we are coming to this policy conference short of our Deputy Secretary General, whom we've had to bid farewell to. I think we must dedicate every success of this policy conference to our Deputy Secretary General. She believed in robust engagements that were dynamic, open, frank. We've spoken about her as one loyal, committed and selfless cadre of the African National Congress. So we must dedicate the success and commit the success of this 6th National Policy Conference to Comrade Jesse Duarte.
I want to talk on possible hiccups ahead of the conference itself. We've heard murmurs of a possible protest even from some of the ANC staff when it comes to the issue of salary. Has that been resolved? Have they been paid, or can we expect any interruptions?
Well, we are already dealing with that. The TGO is dealing with that. Commitment has been made already. Those that are, of course, using our own local bank as the African National Congress would already have begun receiving part of their own monies. Issues like medical aids have already been addressed. Where there are still outstanding issues, the leadership is working on dealing with that. When we spoke to your colleagues earlier on, we did indicate that we operate in a fairly hostile fundraising environment. If the fundraising environment was a healthy one, there were no issues and all of that, you would know that coming out of what was characterized as the period of state capture, the introduction of the Political Party Funding Act, all of this have had a contribution towards what the ANC as an organization is able to mobilize. It takes quite a lot to run the ANC. It's quite an expensive machine to run. You can just see. Look at this. You're going to have over 2,000 delegates here, including guests, staff, media, provinces, regions, branches, all of them here. And, you know, the TGO has to work to make sure that an event such as this becomes successful, has to work to make sure that employees of the ANC, those men and women who put long hours towards the work of the ANC, are equally rewarded for that. We had said that while we understand the plight of our own employees, they need to know that we are quite appreciative of the commitment and the investment that they put in the work of the ANC. This work that you see here would not have been possible without the commitment, without the dedication, without the devotion of the men and women who commit their time to the African National Congress. We understand their plight. We have accepted and welcomed the plan outlined by our Treasurer General that it has got to be all hands on deck, that each one of us who's in the leadership of the ANC, those of us that might have access to resources here and there, should also make that noble contribution towards the sustenance of the African National Congress. The ANC is a very important organization in the country. We cannot afford to have it fail. It has got to succeed. And the reason why it succeeded in driving forward national liberation in this country is because the people of this country had stood behind it. It is, again, an obligation that we, this generation of the ANC leadership today, have got to make sure that we still continue to contribute towards the sustainability of the ANC, because the democratic project will collapse without the ANC being at the helm. We do acknowledge, even in the different policies that will be reviewed. Remember, policy conference is about reviewing your policies, introducing new ones or recommendations that you want to take ultimately to your own conference in December, the 55th National Conference. But even as we do that, we do acknowledge that there could have been areas of weaknesses here and there in terms of how we delivered our services to the people. We come to conferences such as the National Policy Conference to take stock of that and then say, what is it that we can do better? What are the things that we need to introduce to make sure that in providing leadership to the people of this country, in allowing our organization, the ANC, to be able to discharge the delivery of basic services to our people, what are the things that we need to have worked on? So this is quite an exciting moment. The policy conference, it's quite an exciting moment. There's going to be, like I said, robust debates. We are expecting our province to bring that revolutionary excitement, that discipline that is going to help all of us construct a better country. It is through the different ideas expressed through our 9 provinces, through our 53 regions, through our more than 3,000 branches of the ANC spread across the 9 provinces of the Republic, that we are able to come up with a program that drives cohesion, unites our people, and assists us to achieve the renewal that we want.
Much needed in your role. Quickly, more than 200 implicated members of the ANC by the state capture report. Surely those conversations will be quite pointed at corruption.
Well, we have today done a press conference by Comrade Jeff Radebe, who was appointed by the National Executive Committee to head that special task team arising out of the work of the State Capture Commission. Today, he had addressed the media on what has been the approach of the ANC and its own response. We've actually deposited our own response out to the media. Those documents have now been made public. On Friday, he will be able to address an open plenary, accord them an opportunity as members of the ANC in good standing to be able to engage on those. We are not looking at the State Capture Commission only from a spectrum of implication. We are also then saying, how do we then change our method of work? Looking at some of the recommendations, how do we use our understanding of the recommendation to be able to organize ourselves better and to make sure that the ANC becomes an even much better instrument in the hands of our people? So there's going to be quite a lot of things. Like as I said, it's going to be quite dynamic, quite robust. ANC members are very open. they discuss every matter under the sun, especially those matters that affect their own organization. This platform of the policy conference creates that kind of space. So they don't have to talk outside. Where they've got issues, where they believe that the ANC could do better, this is their platform. This organization belongs to them.
All right, thank you very much. National spokesperson of the African National Congress, Bulemabe, at Nasrec Hall 6, where the main plenary will be taking place. Of course, that conference kicking off tonight with the gala, presidential gala dinner, and where we're expecting registration to take place from tomorrow. And of course, the president of the African National Congress, Cyril Ramaphosa, expected to close then the policy conference itself from the stage on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Aviwe Mtila there from Nasrec, that venue that will be hosting the ANC's National Policy Conference. That's at Nasrec in Johannesburg near Soweto. This policy conference is coming just about 5 months or just under 5 months before the National Elective Conference in December.